Hi folks, hope you're well. So, this is going to be the next painting. I'm painting in watercolours on a, I've basically stuck this piece of watercolour paper down with normal masking tape. Sometimes you can pre-wet the paper and then put it down and then tape it, but it shouldn't buckle too much because I'm going to be really quick. That's the view, and I'm going to paint a very quick sketch to see if we can just capture the mood of this stunning location. We're here in the Artscape, Italy, about half an hour from Florence, and yeah, it's been an amazing week here. I've been painting still life and very inspiring. So here we go. Just get this little fella off the paper. There we go. No damage there. What we'll do is we're going to draw out just a very simple sketch. Just see if I can capture the perspective, and well, what we've got is this tree overhanging the pond, and it's leaving some lovely reflections in the water. This is the riverbank here, then we've got the distant riverbank, and then we have a few trees, and that is all that we need to put in this one. It's just a very quick sketch. Hello from Rio, hi from Tudabain, went to Bonn, fluent in many languages. That's about as much Portuguese as I know. Actually, I know how to order a beer. Uma cerveja, por favor. There we go. That's about as far as it goes, but there we go. So that's the tree that's overhanging the pond. Then we have the path here, a couple of trees, and that's all I'm going to do as far as a sketch. And then we're going to I'm using this old, it's like a Japanese brush, but it's very old and it creates lovely marks. And I'm going to try and do the whole of the painting with this brush. And I've just got a very inexpensive travel watercolour set with me. I've been painting in oils all week, but for this sketch I'm just going to use this watercolour set, and we'll start off a little bit of sky. Let's put that colour in there. I don't want to go very dark in the first wash. Keep it nice and light. See this run here? I'm not going to worry about that. The trick with watercolours is to keep the paint moving. Watercolours dries really quickly, especially it's I suppose 18 to 20 degrees here now. I'm going to put in some distant trees, and we'll put them in. And because the paper's wet up here, because I've just done the sky, the paint is running into that colour and creating a soft edge. Going a little bit darker. Maybe that's a bit too dark, but we'll see. I think the key to all of this painting is not to worry about it. Go with the flow. You can always redo it or try something else. I think it's best not to worry too much about it. So I'm just putting in the reflection of these distant trees. The thing with watercolours is that the paint dries so quickly, which can be a good thing, but you haven't got long to move the paint around. And this reflection of this tree and everything is in this same sort of green that I'm just putting down, but we'll go slightly darker. If I go darker in the foreground, it creates the illusion of distance, lighter here in the distance, and then darker in the foreground. All helps that illusion. Thanks for so many of you watching. It's hope you're having a good weekend. Obviously it's Saturday, and I'm about half an hour from Florence. I can't speak. Enjoying the countryside and obviously the wine while I've been here. So I'm going to just mark out where I'm going to put the branch of this tree, and I'm just going to remove a bit of the paint if it allows me. Sometimes it's hard to remove the paint, so as you can see it's not really doing a lot there, but we'll try with a bigger brush. It should allow me to remove a bit of the paint because it's still wet. But it's funny, you know, this is an expensive quality watercolour paper, and if it was a cheap watercolour paper, then that would have removed ever so easily. But the thing is with expensive paper is the paint actually soaks into the paper really, really quickly, and it is difficult to remove. So you could use gum arabic masking tape to mask off the branch and things like that, but because I'm going to go very dark on this branch, I'm not worried about it. It's just part of the process. I was just trying to see if I could get away with it, but unfortunately not. I'm just putting a few marks, creating the surface of the water there. That looks nice. So on a slight angle, and then I will put in this tree here. Let's use this brush, get a nice point on this one, even though it's so big, like so. It's fine. Get back to my other brush. What was I thinking? Okay, so let's put in these trees here. So in theory, these trees back here should be a lot lighter than the one that's in the foreground. But because they're in shadow, they can be a little bit darkness. So, and then that will create this path nicely. And then you see this bead of watercolours. Well, I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm just going to put a little bit of orange with green. And there we go. So this is the second wash. This part of the paper is dry. And I'm going to leave the white of the paper nice. And then I'll put a very light wash of yellowy green along this section, just where the light is hitting. And the trees that are overhanging the pond, they're all in light, other than this darker area here. So I can just fill in that now. Like so. And then I should put just a bit of information to clarify where the bank is, like so. And then I could put this paint here is still very wet. I'm leaving this as a light area of the painting, but this is all in shadow, so I'll be building that up. But I want to make sure that I put in the tree now. So I'm going quite dark. Like I said, watercolours dries so much lighter than when you put the first wash. And we'll go right up here. To make some more interesting marks. And then we have this overhanging branch, which can be falling down like so. It's not far off. And I'm going to use some of the wet paint that is already in the water. That looks nice, actually. I don't want to do too much work on that because that just looks pretty cool as it is. And then we'll put some leaves, and because the paint is wet here, some of these marks will disperse, which will create a nice effect. Like that. It's just fraying because the paper is wet. This when you're painting with wet paint onto dry paper, it's called wet on dry. And when the paper is wet and you're painting with wet paint, then it's called wet on wet. That's just the name of watercolour technique. Like so, we'll just put a few bigger marks. There's some trees above my head which is shading me from the sun. It's just poking its head out now. And we'll put some big marks, leaf-shaped marks, like so. And then where there's a bit of shadow on these further trees, I can put that in now. So obviously if the light is coming from left to right, this part of the tree would be in shadow, this part of the tree would be lighter. So if I darken up that edge, it will really help that illusion. So I'll use another brush for that. I could use the other brush, but it's just going to be easier with this one. And then it's got some fancy bark going on in this tree here, so see if we can capture a bit of that just by moving the brush around. So this watercolour set I'm using is a very inexpensive one that you can buy on Amazon, what have you, but it's just doing the job for this very simple watercolour. It's not artist quality or anything, but hopefully I'm going to be sponsored by a art supplier soon, which would be amazing, and we'll be able to offer some really cool discounts. So we're getting there. It's got a nice feel to it. And then I'm going to work on the reflection. So this is the, oh, that doesn't look quite right. So I'm just going to drag. This is the reflection of this overhanging branch and leaves and tree in the water. My marks are all heading in the direction where I know that it will create this kind of the surface of the water. If you want to see some amazing pond paintings, check out Monet's stuff. His lily pond paintings are amazing. Okay. And then we'll just warm wash, just creating a bit more interest. I don't want to do a lot more. Let me see what, I'm just standing back having a look. The thing is with watercolours is if you think that you're almost there, just walk away, because it is so easy to overwork and make the painting muddy. So it's best just to, if you're starting to think, oh, do I need to do anything else? That's when you should just basically walk away. But I'm going to just create a little bit more darkness on the right side of this painting. And that will help the composition. And then a few of these leaves, where they're in the shadow, they can be darker. In the shadow, I mean the light is coming from left to right, this side of the branch, or the so that can be darker, like so. Letting the brush do the work. Okay, so finally, I think what I'll do is just a very simple blue wash. Let's see if I can find some clean water. And just make a few watery marks. And what I'll do is I'll grab the phone and show you the wildlife in this pond. It's unbelievable. Just standing here, it's massive fish. Let me just see if I can find it. Anyway, that will do really. This is just a quick sketch, and yeah, it's got a nice feel to it. And that's the view. Very simple watercolour. But so let's see if we can find little. There's all sorts in here. Let's see if we can see some big fish. So we'll have a little stroll. I might lose Wi-Fi. Oh look, this little turtle there, swimming away. Well, he was swimming away. Maybe he's not so happy. But there's a few over there on that branch. I don't know if you can see. There's 3 or 4 just sitting on the branch there, enjoying a bit of warmth from the sun. See if we can see some fish. I know this has not got anything to do with painting pictures, but I think we might lose reset. I'm going too far from the Wi-Fi, but I'm just determined to see. You can see my setup over here. I'll just quickly show you that. So I've got an easel and a tripod. And, I've just been working on a few sketches while I'm here. But let's see if we can just spot. Normally you can see some big fish, but I think they might be hiding. They know that I'm live, so they're hiding from us. There's a little turtle there. Stunning place. Okay. Alright, I'll just go up here. No, I can't see any big fish. It's funny, when you look for them, you can never see them. But there has been a few. Oh well. I'll say goodbye. Thanks for watching, and I'll see if I can find another spot to paint, and we'll do something else. Maybe a doorway or something.